So if you want to sound off about any of these topics, you are more than welcome to send a request to pop into the box. If you want to send a request to Cam up in Instagram, you can do that as well. Hey, glam artists. So stories we're going to be covering tonight because I got a meeting with my tax compliance specialist in about 50 minutes. So we're gonna be going through them. Okay, I do business tea segments sometime. Welcome to business tea. I know y'all are used to me doing like structured content, like what I was doing this afternoon. It's business tea, okay? So stories. Oh, y'all give me housekeeping so I can test my delay, and let me go ahead and drop our first commercial for tonight. Hey Roger, what's going on? Again, if you guys want to request to come up, you absolutely positively can request to come up if that's something that you want to do in these streets so that you can sound off, because I know y'all want to talk about some of this stuff. Okay. Housekeeping. No, you said it's gonna be a good night. Okay. What we're gonna cover tonight, of course, y'all all want to talk about Will and Jada. So we will talk about Will and Jada. Let me get the link for backstage over here in YouTube and Facebook land. Boom. Let's see. Join me backstage. Hey Deidre. So I know y'all want to talk about them. Then also, I got it pinned to the screen over here in YouTube land. We're going to talk about, actually, let me switch over to our first story, which is over Temu. Hold on. Let me get this switched out real quick, y'all. Boom. We're going to start with Temu first. We're also going to talk about Carly Russell. Okay. There's a suggested, of course, y'all know she was found guilty. So there's a suggested sentencing for her and all this good stuff. So we're going to talk about that as well. And, we're going to run through it. So y'all know what I want to see. Everybody give it up for the big God. That's who gave me the gifts of business, beautification, and hospitality. That is who has allowed me to make a crap load of money. But more importantly, I've been able to help almost 900 people create six-figure incomes. 175 of my clients to date right now have made $1 million in under a year. I have 4 clients that earn over $10 million a year, and I love business and pretty much everything about business. My channel is an overall level up channel. So we focus a lot on money, mindset, and marketing, and whatever that entails. Okay. Everything from organizing and decorating your house to, your self-care, to getting out here and figuring out how to build up a business and also shift that mindset. Okay, so let's see. Braylon, I see you backstage on YouTube. I'm gonna bring you up, sir. How you doing, my good man?
I'm doing good. Good to hear your beautiful voice. Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
Thank you. Good to hear your handsome voice this evening. Happy to have
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, let's see. And then hold on, I got this bar up. If you are sending me a request right now on TikTok, I just cleared them all out on accident. So resubmit your request. Okay. So let's get to Temu first. Y'all know what I want to see. Ready, 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 ready. Let me see it roll through my comments. By the way, if you guys want to work with me to help you have an amazing Black Friday, I took my Black Friday boot camp and I marked it all the way down to $27. But that is only for 100 of you guys at that price range. It is first serve. Okay, first come, first serve. When I went and looked, half of the seats were already gone. Okay, so I would encourage you. This is a 4-week boot camp. I teach it live. It does come with a workbook, and you have to work. Be prepared to work. We're going to cover everything from positioning yourself to packaging yourself, to rolling out your product, to the pre-engagement. Hey, leadership, how you doing? To the pre-engagement that you need to be doing like right now. If any of you guys came to this afternoon stream, I was talking to you guys about a lot of y'all are behind getting ready for your Black Friday sales. So we're going to get you caught up. We're going to focus on the funnel, all of that stuff. YBR, you said you knew Timu wasn't right. Now let's get to it. So let me tell you guys about Timu. Okay, has anybody ever heard of Grizzly Research? They're pretty popular. They do a lot of research over a bunch of different things, and I actually have been meaning to talk to you guys about this for a month, but other things just kept coming up. Okay. So, what is alleged? Well, first of all, do you guys know who owns Timu? Does everybody know who owns Timu? If you know who owns Timu, give me the one. If you have no idea who owns Timu, give me the number two so I can catch you guys up really quickly. Because this is the thing, a lot of Americans don't understand how much of an influence China has on our country already. Okay. Y'all just think about the TikTok app. No, the Chinese people are buying all kinds of real estate over here. They invested in a lot of these hedge funds that are buying up neighborhoods and driving up the housing prices so that you guys can't get any. Sometimes they use the homes here in the States as a vehicle to put their money in because of the laws in their country. So they really don't want you in the house. They don't want to rent it to you because they're protecting their asset and their money. Okay. So Timu is owned by PDD. Okay, that's okay. PDD. It's Pin Dual Duo. They're one of the largest countries. One of the largest companies in the world. They are huge. Okay, humongous. That's who actually owns Timu. So, fun fact: did you guys know that Timu takes an average loss of $30 for every order? Did y'all know that? Blink, blink, blink. Now, how in the world would a company as aggressive as they are with marketing, okay, and trying to force everyone to download this app, right? Why and they have a growth model is what they're focused on. How in the world would it be wise for them to be losing an average of $30 on every order? Y'all don't think it's suspicious that you can buy a whole entire pair of shoes on Temu for $2? Y'all don't think that that's suspicious? Y'all don't think that is weird that you can furnish your whole entire house on Temu for $15.99? Y'all don't think that that's odd? You guys have never thought about this? Because this is the thing. Y'all don't understand how other people study Americans and they understand our psychology, okay? And they get that a lot of us act without thinking, and that we're not necessarily quality focused, okay? Yeah, I don't order from Temu either. I've never downloaded the app, thank God, but I know a lot of people that do because I was like, this is weird. So anyway, now another fun fact, okay? Did you guys ever wonder that if you're ordering clothes on Temu, why they would need access to your camera or to your contacts or to your photos, especially to your contacts? If you're ordering something on Temu, why do they need access to your contacts? Why do they need access to your cameras and to your microphones? You're just ordering your goods, your wares. And let me say this, I know a lot of you guys are not going to stop using Temu, okay? I'm not trying to make you stop using Temu. I just want you to be aware, okay, of what's going on. So, according to Grizzly Research, they're accusing Temu of having extremely sophisticated malware and spyware that they're implanting on your devices, okay? And according to Grizzly Research, there's a presence of self-compiling software. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was taken aback when I saw that there was self-compiling software there. So for those of you that are not techie, what self-compiling software basically means is that they can install anything on your device. So if you put the Temu app on your tablet or on your phone, well, they now can install whatever they want to after you've downloaded this app onto your device. Blink, blink, blink. And upon further research, and this is where they're going into the violation of your data and privacy, okay? But Temu is selling data, and not only are not it is very crazy, and not only are they selling like lightweight data, y'all, they're accessing your credit card statement. So y'all know how you get on your phone, and think about it. When you most of y'all are using it on your phone when you're purchasing. So what are you using? You're using a debit card or a credit card to purchase. You're logging into your PayPal account to purchase. Okay. Well, because this app is on your phone, and now this self-compiling software is there, and you have given them permission through using the app. Well, now not only are they collecting not only are they collecting audio and voice, aka biometrics, not only are they watching how your eyes dilate and your pupils change, and I'm sorry, how your eyes vibrate and how your pupils change and your facial expressions when you're ordering. Blink, blink, blink. We like, come on, y'all. Is everybody putting two and two together? Okay. Not only are they accessing your contacts, but now they are accessing text messages. They are also accessing your bank information. They are also going through your credit card records and anything that they can get to that's through the phone. And you guys also know that most of us, if we're using like Google Chrome or something like that, it links multiple devices together. It's extremely dangerous. You said what? Kenza Farr said what? Yes. Yes. Okay. So how do you stop the access? You can, of course, go into your phone and you can turn off the permissions to the app, and you can remove the app. That's one. You also can have a sweep done on your phone. If you're going to do that, I would encourage you, though, to back up what's already on the phone before you do the sweep. Okay. Or on your tablet. You said no more Temu for you. Hey, I've told you guys about them and about Shein with all these lead filled clothes, okay, and their human labor laws that they're out here breaking. It's out of control. Okay, so y'all got to be a little bit more mindful about some of these things. Let's see. Jules said Temu latches onto your device with the chokehold. Their cell prompts are on fleek. Well, this is another thing I was going to bring to y'all's attention. Like, we all understand pixels, right? We all know how they work. Y'all don't think it's odd that no matter where you go on the internet, that Temu can pop up and interfere and try and get you to purchase something? No one's pixels are that good. And I've been using pixels for years. Now they may become that good over the next, over the next 18 to 24 months with the introduction of AI going and compiling all of this other information, but use it at your own risk. Okay. Use Temu at your own risk. Everybody picking up what I'm putting down? I got rid of my graphic for Shein, but y'all asked me over here about Shein. Hold on, so I can make sure I got y'all the right numbers, because I want to make sure I get these right. So with Shein, y'all know that they now this, and I told y'all this a while ago. Their clothing has over 18 times the amount of lead that's allotted in clothing. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, lead poisoning is very dangerous. It's actually fatal to elderly and to infants. Okay. Lead poisoning can cause infertility in those of us that are childbearing age. It can cause low sperm count in men. It also can cause mood disorders in all of us regular people. So some of y'all are running around here moody and mad and snappy because you out here wearing all these lead filled clothes. Blink, blink, blink. Yeah, baby, I don't know when we got to this point in our life when none of us could wear the same thing more than one time. Like, come on now. You said, how's that legal to ship to the US? They've been able to do it leadership, and they also have a lot of distribution centers in the US, because there's a RICO charge against Shein. And there are 3 designers that are actually spearheading this. And so basically, they are accusing Shein, which I know that Shein is doing this. I've seen it for myself. They basically go and they steal up and coming designers or little known designers. They go in and they steal their designs and they replicate them. And their goal is to manufacture about 6,000 new items per day. They pay their staff 4 cents per day. The staff works 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. And if they make a mistake, they can be docked up to 2/3 of their pay for that day. It's insane and inhumane. But yet, all of us are just over here buying this crap. You know what I mean? Like, like clearly there's an addiction, right? Because there's not even room, in your closets. I've seen these girls on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram doing these Shein and Fashion Nova and Temu hauls, and people literally have like wheelbarrows of clothes and crap that they're bringing into the house at one time. And it's nuts. So at the end of the day, if you guys, if you're learning about this, I would encourage you, to maybe back away from shopping with some of these companies. But they actually have offices inside of the US, and they do US sales. So that's what's helping. That's what's helping this with the designers bringing forth this case and with the RICO charges, right, for the organized crime. Because basically, in the US, we have copyright laws that protects. They offer protection for specific fabrics and prints of fabrics. Of course, y'all know different designs, logos, fonts, things like that, labels, IPO, all that good stuff. And so then they're going after them, hey, beloved and wise, on the back end for this other stuff. So if you have the Temu app, y'all please go in there, turn off the permissions. Okay, go into your settings, find the app, turn off the permissions that are allowed with that app, delete the app. Okay, if you need to have one last order to get it out your system or one last hurrah, do whatever you need to do. Okay, but please, y'all, use a critical mind, and moving forward in the future, understand that if something seems too good to be true, thank you, leadership, thank you. If something seems too good to be true, it's probably because it is too good to be true. Okay. Now up next, let's talk about little Carly real quick. Okay. Y'all know I followed this case. Honey, y'all thought that y'all were gonna make me afraid to talk about her or bring this up again in the future. I am not afraid. I ain't never scared. Okay. Never scared. Y'all, my account almost got banned behind speaking about this because I was one of the first people to actually come and talk about Carly Russell, okay, in the shenanigans that she was out here on in these streets. And everybody wanted to believe that she was telling the truth, and that, y'all were saying that I hate myself and I hate other Black women and I don't really support our community because I was calling her out for being a liar. A lie is a lie is a lie is a lie. Okay. It is what it is. And then all of y'all magically disappeared and went back into your holes with your pitchforks when the truth came out. And it was, baby, to me, a blind man could see what was going on. But I understand that people get emotional sometimes and they're not looking at what the facts are of a situation. Hey, Lord, what's going on? They're not looking at that. Okay. They're just looking at how they feel. So when I saw this today, I was like, oh, so I actually got because I still follow the Hoover police. So I got the notification from the Hoover police first. And then later on this evening, when I opened up my phone, this came down my timeline. So if any of you guys want to sound off, this is what I would like to know from you guys. Hold on, YouTube. I get your graphic. Give me a second. Give me a second. And YouTube land. There we go. Sorry about that, YouTube and Facebook. All right, William Parr. So this is the thing. I definitely want to know from you guys. How do y'all feel about the state recommendation for this 1 year in jail? And they said nearly 18K in restitution, which means it's a little under 18,000 in restitution. Now I've seen some general feedback out here in these social media streets concerning this. However, I personally feel that this is a very fair recommendation. If I'm being honest, I feel like she's getting off light if I'm keeping it real. Have you guys heard of, do y'all know who Sherry Papini is? Sherry Papini is probably the closest case that I could probably like the closest that I'm having a brain fart. Somebody help me out right now. Presidents. There's normally a case and it sets a president. Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been working all day, and I have a meeting with my tax team when we get done out of here. Okay. So Exactly. She's getting off very light. So Sherry Papini had to pay back about $310,000 in restitution. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, Sherry is a blonde haired Caucasian lady. Blink, blink, blink. So please stop with this narrative that they've only given this recommendation to Carly because she's black. That's not true. Okay. Sherry Papini is a whole. Let me back up. So back in the day, hold on, let me see if I got a picture of Sherry in my phone somewhere. I may not have one of her. Let's see. Hold on. Boom. There's Sherry. Okay. This is Sherry Papini. Let me get y'all right over here on the other side. This is Sherry. Okay. This is what Sherry Papini looks like. So I don't want to hear this argument coming from anybody. If you cam up, if you want to come in the box, you want to talk to me, baby, the one thing you're not going to tell me tonight is that this is about her being black, because it's not. It's not. You can argue all other points, but it's not about her being black. Sherry Papini faked her own. She faked the kidnapping as well. She ran away from her husband and her children. She didn't eat while she was gone. She went and hooked up with her ex-boyfriend, basically was drinking, having a bunch of sex, having her a good old time with this man. And then she wasn't eating on purpose because she had concocted this story. She knew she was going to concoct this story that two Hispanic women kidnapped her and abused her. Then she had the guy, her boyfriend, put a brand on her because she wanted to come back and say the Hispanic women's branded her. Okay. Then she shows back home. Oh, it was so hard. I'm so weak. I'm emaciated. Blah, 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 blah. Baby, they eventually found out the truth. Sherry had to go to the pen for 18 months. I don't have my penitentiary sunglasses down here tonight. Y'all know I got my little sunglasses I like to put on when we talk about the penitentiary, because I'm not trying to go to the penitentiary, okay? She had to go to the penitentiary for 18 months. Then she has 36 months of supervised probation on top of the 18 months in prison and $310,000 in restitution that she has to pay. So I personally feel that Carly's judgment, okay, if I'm keeping it a buck, I feel that I feel like her year, and they may be able to get her off with saying, maybe she needs to go to rehab or something like that. But I feel like that's extremely fair for 18,000. It was 17,000 and some change in restitution and recommendations of a year in jail, because she's probably not even going to spend the year in jail. Hey girl, what's happening, Integra? You look beautiful, by the way, tonight. So pretty. Oh, you're on mute, Integra. Hold on. Unmute yourself, girl. I still can't hear you. Can y'all hear Integra? Is it me? Am I the only person that can't hear her?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I apologize. I went to the restroom as I was listening to you, and my son logged me on. I was like, boy. But I do agree. She's getting off pretty light. That you had the whole community in an uproar, and I think she is getting off on a light sentence.
Yeah.
And you look beautiful, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'll be honest. I will be surprised if she spends this year in jail. I really will be. I don't think she's going to do a year in jail. When you look at the career that her parents have and who they know inside of the state, in the city, and her father was actually supposed to be running for office before all of this happened. He's a banker. The mom is a realtor. They do really, really well. I think that she's probably going to get off with some type of supervised probation. They may give her like 120 or 300 hours of community service or something like that. She may agree that she's going to go to some type of counseling or therapy or some type of rehabilitation, and they will cut that check and they will pay the restitution, and she will be able to move on the rest of her days. And then they may go as far as maybe giving her a name change later, so it's easier for her to get a job, be able to go get into schools again, things of that nature.
Also, with her status and station, they may also bind her records. Mm-hmm. And like you say, with that name change, you'll never know that was her as she moves on with her life. And be careful what you do with the letters and the acronyms behind your name. Because certain of us, we can't all get away with that, depending on what we look like, depending on who our parents are, where we come from. So she's actually blessed to be in it, in to have her parents in that situation.
Yeah.
And I wonder if her father was in the position to run for office, were you trying to embarrass your father?
Yeah.
Political families understand that when if I'm mom and I'm about to run for whatever position, the whole family has to be on board.
That's very true.
Don't do nothing stupid because you're going to ruin my chances to get in office. So I wonder what that relationship is. It's real deep with this one.
But this is the thing. I read to y'all, and I know somebody's gonna disagree with me, and that's fine. She comes off as a spoiled brat and entitled to me. And this is behavior, that she's picked up from her mother. And I said this as soon as that interview came out, when her mom got on CBS lying like that, and everybody like, you don't know she's lying. And I'm like, y'all cannot tell that this woman is lying. Y'all can't tell from the body language, you can't tell from the things she's saying. The story doesn't even make sense. There were things that were very, very unnatural in the words that they were using. Then I knew for a fact that they were lying when she put out the statement that night. And she basically was chastising all of us. We don't need your prayers if you want something back for it and blah, 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 blah. We don't owe you anything. Then she started chastising the police department. I'm like, this is out of control. But if her mom will go to that extent to carry out the lie and help in this, because remember, they have never come out. The parents have never come out and said, oh, Carly is troubled, and we know mental illness is a real thing in the world, and we're going to get our daughter some help. And we know other families across America, struggle with this, and we thank you for our prayers. And we know that there are girls that are taken and they don't get this type of recognition, and their families never see them again. So we praise God, that our daughter is at home and she wasn't taken, and we're praying for the other families. If they would have came out and said some stuff like that, they should have hired me. They are the other PR they hired. They should have hired me instead of the other PR. That's who they should have hired. But like realistically, they've never come out and made a statement. Remember, they always maintain that they believe Carly in a story that a guy with orange hair was feeding her Cheez-Its and painting her fingernails, took naked pictures of her, but she had her socks on, and that's how she had her $40 or $100 or whatever. Like, it makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. And it would have made more sense to just be like, oh, she had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say that I know, as a black man, just the fact that we could not be here because we're just driving. She's getting off very easily.
I think she's
and honestly, to tell you the truth, I talked about this with Kanye West, because he filed a trademark for a name I'm not going to say. Y'all just going to have to look it up. But I said about Kanye, because he said, my wife calls me crazy and I'm ramped up more than a genius. It's just like, do you not realize everything that you did to Kim, from what you did to Pete Davidson in the music video, buying a house across the street from her? Do you realize that if I did that, or any black man out here would do that, down south, people believe family's police. So we would have been handled, Kanye. So you got a lot of grace to be really stupid.
We would have been some strange fruit.
Right, exactly. So with Carly, I really do believe that she got off too easily, especially being black.
I'm not gonna say she got off too easy. Now I will say this: if she doesn't do any jail time, I will feel that it's too easy. And I don't think that she's gonna do jail time. I'll be shocked if she does. And y'all know I've been calling everything with this case correct. Like I haven't missed on one thing yet. But she could, and there's this lady, her name is Jennifer Wilbanks. It's Jennifer something Wilbanks, but Wilbanks is the last name, and she pretty much was a runaway bride, And this happened, I think, in 2014 or 2015. And so, anyway, they ended up expunging Jennifer's record. Her felony got knocked down to a misdemeanor. I think even one of the other misdemeanor charges that the police put on her, they ended up dismissing it. She ended up with 2 years probation, and they gave her like 120 hours of community service. So if in her attorney, Carly has a really, really good attorney. I'm a fan of her attorney. Like, the parents are not playing. Their brother is nothing to play with. So I'm sure his team has researched all of these cases. I'm sure they're very aware of all of the other presidents, that are out there. They're probably going to argue she's a good kid. She doesn't have a criminal record. She's never gotten in trouble before. Clearly, you could tell there was something going on with her mental health, blah, 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 blah. This is out of her character. And that's what I said. I will be very surprised if she gets jail time. I think they're going to go in and they're going to argue those things. And I think that they're going to say, if we pay the restitution in full, we do this much community service, and we give her some probation. I think they're going to let her move around.
Well, it's state time. So even if she got the year, she can do two days. I think they said 2 days for 1 day or something like that. This is not a federal case. So she's not going to do day for day with that.
Not at all.
Secondly, they're probably going to do a house. Either they'll do like a probation or a house arrest. I don't think she's going to go to jail either.
Yeah, I don't think she's going. I do that. I'll be surprised, and I could be wrong, but I will be surprised, because you see, her mug shot was almost like a glamour shot, and she was in and out that thing. Okay, hold on. Now to this foolishness. Hold on. There's so much foolishness behind them. Now look, let me tell y'all. The only reason I'm covering this Will and Jada situation, hold on, let me switch the screen over here on YouTube, is because I know for a fact, okay, that everybody is talking about it and y'all want to talk about it. But I'm telling y'all this right now. I am so sick of them, okay? And I just wish at this point Jada would be quiet. I'm just keeping it a buck. Now, I know some of y'all are eating it up and y'all love it, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. Okay. I'm not mad. I get it. Okay. I get it. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. So you can pull up and you can sound off. I want to make sure that this was the last thing we talked about tonight, because, right, y'all know at this point too, she's now come out and said that basically Chris Rock was trying to holler at her. He wanted to take her out on a date because he thought that he thought that she and Will were split up. Then Tommy Davidson has come out and said that Will, threatened to beat him up on a set. I was like, I'm tired of them using us like a public diary and all of this. And this is a publicity stunt in my eyes. And I could be wrong, because she's tying this in with this book. It just seems very methodical. It seems very well thought out. It doesn't seem, to me, it doesn't come across as sincere. And then I think about, honestly, the first person that probably popped in my head, and I know nobody's really thought about him, was August Alsina, because that man's career basically got ruined behind that entanglement. His career basically got ruined behind the entanglement, and now here she is on a full press tour talking about how her and Will have been living separately for 7 years, and they pretty much do their own thing, right? They've been keeping up appearances as far as the red carpets and shows and all of that, but that they've been going around doing whatever they feel like. Right. And I think she made, and I think, what else did she address in there? It's a lot. It's just so much. I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, why? Why?
Yeah, I mean, with this story, I mean, at this point, like, really what they should have done is just do a Red Table Talk special on NBC and just did it in one foul swoop, because it's like the interview come out today, Friday is the special, and then she's going to be live in Studio 1A Monday. It's like, okay, we get it. Okay, y'all two are no longer together. And there was this couple named Tanya and Sinjin from 90 Day Fiance. She and Tanya was on The Single Life. And so she was dating this dude, or trying to date this dude, and this dude was like, "Oh, so you're mentally divorced, but you're not paper divorced. I can't date you." So my thing is this: if y'all haven't been together since 2016,
Mhm.
what's the point of y'all staying together? Like Will's in his house, you in your house. Just sign the papers. Like what we doing? Really?
Because she said, I made a vow. I'm paraphrasing y'all. I made a vow. I made a commitment. And I'm just having trouble breaking the commitment. And we're trying to figure it out together.
Lord help. I mean, I guess.
Well, there's money involved. There's children involved. Any publicity is good publicity. They are still trying to remain relevant. They want to be known as that Black couple that's been together for a long time.
Mm-hmm. But what's the purpose of being together if you're not together and y'all are cheating on each other and sleeping with other people and not respecting each other? And it seems at this point, it seems like for the past 3 years, she's taking every opportunity that she can to publicly embarrass this man. It's not funny. It's just, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. Like when I think about it and I say it, I don't know any wife that's in love with her husband and cares about her husband, right? And will cover for her husband, even when we're irate with them, even when we're disappointed with them, even when we want to poke them in their eyes, okay, and shake them. What wife that loves her husband will go and publicly lambast him, shame him, emasculate him, demoralize him, and purposely cause damage to his reputation? What woman that loves her, and I be, and y'all, this is one of the reasons I haven't wanted to speak on this, because I try my best not to just openly speak on people's marriages, because marriages and relationships are very complex. Okay. However, this is not a situation where someone has gone and dug up information and put it out here. This is a situation where she's literally on a press tour about the relationship at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a whole write up with People. She's on Today. She'll be on CBS. She's doing all these podcasts and vlogs, and like she's on a whole press tour. So at this point, this is not a oh, respect our privacy. No, you're putting everyone in the business, and you have a whole entire book at this point where you're putting it out. So now I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel as bad about having my public opinion about this because they've turned it into a public story. But I'm just being honest. And y'all, if y'all don't know who Dr. Kia is, she's one of the relationship boosters. She's an actual real doctor, okay, therapist when it comes to relationships. So I'm super happy that she's in the building tonight. But when you think about that, what woman that loves her husband would do this?
I've never seen a woman who is in love with her husband that will put her husband on blast like that out in the community. You know, to me, she's selling books. And right now, this story is juicy. It's new. It's no information that's been leaked in the past. And she's telling it on her own time and her own dime. So I'm just wondering, like, what did he know that it was going to be released before? Did she just do this since they've been together for so long? Why today? Why today did she decide, other than to sell a book, to just out here and put it out there like that? So, and in addition to that, the whole Will slapping Chris Rock, women who are connected to their husbands are not necessarily going to sit back and just, I don't want to use the word allow, because you can't stop anybody from doing anything, but you have some level of influence over your husband to be like, yo, no, he about to mess up his big night. Let me make sure that he don't get up here and defend my honor and ruin his night in the process. Like, there's no way that a wife that's connected to her husband is going to sit back and watch that happen, because that impacts both of them. But now, if they've been separated for so long, that makes more sense, because she's not connected to him. He does whatever. If he ruins, his life, it is what it is, So,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I mean, to use the story of, she
Braylon
and
started over here. I got you. Go ahead, Braylon. You
no,
give your points, and then I'm gonna have a Decker chat. Well, she
okay,
probably can hear you because remember she's on a different. I got y'all
yeah,
on.
go right ahead, go right ahead.
He said,
I
"Oh,
can hear you.
Integra." He said, "You go ahead." He said, "Ladies first."
You know, it seems like there's a deep level of, I want to say, revenge or retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are passive aggressive. So I'm not going to get you today. I'm gonna wait 5 years from now, and revenge is best served cold.
I agree.
So I think it's a level of, you did this to me in the past. You had this in your book. So now here's my time when everything has kind of settled. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I've always seen them in a reverse roles of femininity and masculinity with those two. So to me, she's been the authoritative one. She's been the more masculine energy with those two. So her taking that traditional stance as the submissive or the traditional wife, that's never been their interaction between those two in public. Third thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna digress. You don't know what couples talk about when if they pillow talk.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what happens behind closed doors. He may have already known this is gonna happen, but babe, we need an influx of money for X, Y, Z. Go ahead, let's do this now, because that's a celebrity. That's that celebrity angle. And I tell people all the time, I can say what I want to say and I can hear what I want to hear from the wife but I don't know what y'all talk about when y'all lay down at night.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm in this house and I'm in that house. The traditional kings and queens, the king had his quarters and the wife had, and the queen had her quarters. And then we make a decision whose quarters are we going to spend next Thursday in. So it's all of those things, and I'm gonna digress.
Well, those are some really good points, and I agree with you too that there's definitely a level of revenge that's going on here. With her being angry about things from the past, and you're correct, she has never been a traditional wife at all. Um, I will never forget because I wasn't a regular watcher of the Red Table Talk, but I would see clips like everyone else did. And if it was something that was interesting enough, then of course I would go and watch the entire episode so I can make sure that I was, accurately understanding the context of everything that was going on. And do y'all remember she had this episode on the Red Table Talk and she was talking about how she was like used to be addicted to masturbation. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, now why in the world are you sharing this with everyone? Why in the world, you know what I'm saying, is this being put out here, right now? Why is this, you know what I'm saying, the topic of what is going on? And there were so many things that she was always constantly putting out there that most people would see as a violation of their intimacy and a violation of the relationship. And I know that, God, some of the girls are about to pop their top when I say this, but this is my honest, y'all, and please understand, everybody can live their life how they want to live their life. Okay. I'm just speaking for me right now. I'm not saying that this is how all of y'all have to live your marriages and your relationships. Okay. However, there is, you as a wife, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, you are also a representation of your husband. And you do have a duty to have some type of respect for the marriage. And any of you guys in here that are faith based, literally, even the Bible tells us how we're supposed to respect our husbands and how we're supposed to like hold him in high regard. Even the Bible tells you how a wise woman builds up her own house and a foolish woman tears it down. So even from those aspects, it does not, everything she's doing is counter. You know what I'm saying? It's counter. And I get that people are like, oh, it's our marriage and we can make it whatever we want it to be. Well, yes, that is true. But if you take information from your marriage and you actively continue to put it in the public, well, guess what? Now it's everybody's marriage. Blink, 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 whether you want it to be or not. Y'all remember when I was getting married, people were like, oh, are you and Corey gonna have a couples channel? And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He can make an appearance here, there, or whatever, but I have a great valuation on my relationship, on my marriage. He also, Corey is, I'm the peacock, okay? I'm the showgirl in the relationship. Corey wants to be behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be out on the stage in front of everybody. So even being able to respect his temperament and how he wants to live his life, right? And he respects me and he understands what I'm doing as well. But also there's a certain level, like there's understanding that I know that there are things that he would not want me discussing online with everybody. There are things he wouldn't want me discussing at lunch with everyone. There are things he wouldn't want me discussing with my mama or my sister. You know what I mean? Because there are things that gets to a level it's supposed to be just between he and I. And so realistically, for some of the ladies in here, if you have the attitude where you feel like you can say whatever you want to say and you can do whatever you want to do and you can move however you want to move and a man just has to accept it, you probably really need to consider staying single. Because realistically, and Dr. Kia, I would love, because you are the expert in this, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on this, but I've never seen one of those couples stay together and be happy when you have a partner that just is constantly violating the other partner all the time.
Absolutely, because it doesn't happen. Like those people are either going to get divorced or they're going to live separate lives, right? Or they're going to be fighting. Like those are the three options. Because if you think about it like this, if I'm going to tear down my husband, then I'm also tearing myself down in the process. Like I'm setting it up for both of us to come down. So it doesn't make any logical sense. Like if you love your husband, if y'all in a loving relationship and y'all trying to build and grow together, that you're out here, tearing the other person down. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't. Go ahead, Braylon. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. No, to use the first story that you talked about with Shein and Fashion Nova, this is like you ordered what you ordered, but this ain't what you got. You know what I mean? And no, it just it is what it is. There's a difference between quantity and quality. So, there was a particular story that I'll never forget. Will Smith did this whole birthday thing for Jada and, her ancestry and all that stuff. And she cried and was upset. Where it's just like, do you not know there's some women that never have received a birthday gift ever? That there's no anniversary gift ever. There's not even they don't even remember their favorite food or their food order. So for me, it just seems like if Jada could have been single and just had somebody to come home to, that's the life that she lived. But when someone is giving you that much commitment, if you can't match it, just get to step in. That's all.
Yeah. So I don't understand why y'all are in the comments talking about Will Smith being horrible to his first and second. I mean, how he was a bad husband to his first and second wife. What does that have to do with anything? I don't get it. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, explain to me. If you want to come up and come and explain it to me, explain it to me. Because this is the thing. No, because I get tired of people when they do this. You have done me wrong, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and you stayed. You stayed. If you say, I'm gonna forgive you, whatever, however your partner transgresses against you. And if you make the decision to say, I'm going to stay in this relationship and I'm going to forgive you and we're going to work to repair these things, well, you don't get to turn around and hold that over your partner's head years and years and years later. That is counterproductive. And that's literally like you throwing poop at them and you're covered in doo-doo yourself. Like while you've been flinging it on them, you flung it all over yourself. It doesn't make any sense. If you get to a point where you feel like this person has hurt me to the point that I can't get past it, I can't let it go, I can't forgive it, then you exit the relationship. But sticking around for years, trying to make someone miserable, trying to get your get back and your payback when you said we're going to stay together and we're going to work on things and we're going to try and reconcile, is literally like you're drinking poison every day, but you're over there looking at your partner, waiting on them to die. It doesn't make sense. So when y'all are like, oh, he was horrible in the past, yes. And as a grown woman, she decided to stay. She said, I'm going to stick in this marriage. So if you, as a grown woman or a grown man, decide that you're going to stay and you're going to forgive your partner, well, that means when you forgive, you put somebody back into the state that they were before the transgression. So that means you're supposed to move forward at that point. And y'all get on my nerves with he did this and she did that and blah 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 blah. Okay, they did it and you stay. And if you can't get past it right then, you need to be honest with your partner and say, I still love you, but I'm conflicted, I am hurt, I'm mad, I'm disgusted, I'm disappointed, whatever you feel. I am all of this and I love you, but you need to give me 6 months or you need to give me a year. You need to give me some time to try and get myself together to get past this. And if we come back in the same house, I'm mad at you and I'm going to terrorize you for the next 18 months. Can you deal with it? Like, I'm just real, like, keep it a bug. Keep
No,
it a buck. Like, tell them you have treated me like trash for the past 8 months, and now I'm mad. Okay, and I want to get you back. Or if you come back, I'm trying to fight against it, but you need to understand I'm gonna have some hard days, and I'm gonna be difficult, and I'm gonna be a pain in the butt to deal with. Like, just but don't sit here and like be like, oh, we're gonna work it out. It's gonna be great. We're moving forward. Blah 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 blah. And then years later, you're arguing about somebody dropping the potato salad in 1913. Like, get out of here. Oh, you cheated on me in 1997 and we're all the way in 2023. You stayed. Get over it.
no, I definitely agree with you, and and honestly, being a truth teller is such a difficult job to bear. But if this was my life, I would say, okay, listen, for all you saying that he messed up in his first marriage, y'all come cam up and y'all let me know how perfect y'all were in y'all first marriage. Since y'all that holy and vow and everything in between, just let me know how perfect y'all been. Right. And this is the thing too. I think a lot of times when we see divorce and things like that, and my evolution on relationships have been because I allow myself to learn and evolve and also just be humble enough to know that I don't know everything. Usually that first time around, you probably are too young to even know what you want. That person is just there just to be there. That second time, you think you know it enough. Okay, you basically at 2.0. Then finally, you hope that you're at iPhone 15 or you're the best Android. But here's the thing: even with the best phones, they still got flaws. The
Mm-hmm.
best phones still go into recalls. The best phones have the update that nobody wants to take. So just be easy, okay? Just
That
saying.
that part. And this is the thing. Now, what do y'all think about her revealing that Chris Rock tried to holler at her? I was just like,
That was just team too damn much, and not to mention they already worked on a movie called Madagascar. I'm just like, so we're not going to get another movie because Jada can't keep her damn mouth shut. But at that point, it's just like there's some things that need to be left unsaid. I understand it's your truth, but if you know good to damn well that even though y'all weren't together, but he took up ownership for you being his wife, that alone should be enough to keep your mouth shut about that. That was just out of line. So unfortunately, I can't stay. If you're still on, I will come back, but I gotta go to the Onyx collab on Clubhouse. But I love you, Ashley, and love
I
y'all,
love
and I
you
will see
too,
y'all
Travis.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah, it was too much. I'm not gonna say it was messy because if that's what happened in life and that's what happened in their situation, um, I'm not gonna say it's necessarily messy to recount history, I guess, or restate history. I would say it's in poor taste though. It did seem a bit nefarious. I seem like it's another tactic for her being vengeful, right? And trying to seek some type of vengeance um And I feel like it explains a lot. And I will say this, to me, it honestly made me see her in not a positive light. I'll be honest, the light dimmed a bit for me, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So, with us knowing the information that Chris Rock thought that Jada and Will were splitting, so he hits her up and said, "Hey, I would like to take you out," right? And now you know that this man has had some type of romantic interest in you or saw a level of sexual attraction in you. So then on your husband's big night, okay, on his big night, you sat there with a smirk on your face. You didn't try and stop him. You didn't say, "What are you doing?" You didn't say, "Baby, no," blah, 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 blah. For you to allow that to happen, right? Knowing that the background, and in my brain, I'm guessing, and this is just speculation. This is just me speculating in my mind. There's no proof to this, but I would imagine that she probably has let Will Smith know prior to this that Chris Rock tried to holler at her. It just seems like the type of thing that she would do from watching her actions and how she's disclosed information. So like, and y'all are like, "Oh, a woman can't stop a man." She should have tried. And whether y'all know it or not, a lot of times wives and girlfriends and husbands and boyfriends we have a lot of influence over the other spouse. And sometimes when no one else can get them to calm down, no one else can get them to reason, your little lady can, okay, your boo bear can, your love bug can, okay, and we go
We know
ahead.
the temperament. We know the temperament of our husbands, our men, or our boyfriends. We know their temperament. If I go over here and tell Junebug that Cephas came at me sideways, I know Junebug gonna beat up Cephas. But I don't got no bail money to go get Junebug out of jail. So I'm not gonna tell him that Cephas did XYZ. We know that. I had a situation like that. First husband beat somebody down at a show. Guy performed some songs that I wrote and didn't pay me. I didn't know he was going to do that. Now, in that situation, I didn't know. I don't know if Jada knew that Will was going to go up there and slap the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. However, you knew that we were going to this award show. You knew that they were going to see each other. And Will may have already had it in his head to slap him on sight.
Well, see, I feel like she may have not known like he was gonna go out there and slap, but she probably knew something was off in his energy when he's sitting in the audience. "Keep my wife's effing name at your mouth," blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? Before that happened, because I definitely can tell when my husband is getting agitated. I remember we were at a very shishi hotel in New York, and honestly, just straight up being mistreated, and they were trying to be nasty, and this was all like the cockazoids, we already knew what it was. And I could see him getting super agitated and super bothersome. Okay. And my husband is the type that will flip a table. Okay. He will flip a table and he will flip a person. He will drop you on your head and not think twice about it. All right. This is just how this man gets down. And I knew it. And I was just like, "Hey, babe." I was like, "Look at me." I was like, "It's okay." I was like, "Look at my face. I'm not hurt." I was like, "I know how to deal with this." I was like, let me get my boss lady on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna put on my boss hat and let me handle this. I said, because he's trying to provoke you to act a fool. This is what this man wants you to do. And I need, please, please, please don't for me. And because I asked him to, he calmed down. Okay. He calmed down. He changed his disposition so we could get done what we needed to get done. But a lot of times, most women, we know our men. And this is the thing. It'd be one thing if he would have smacked them down backstage. It'd be another thing if he would have pulled up on them. But because you can't tell me it was going to be some opportunity for them to be around one another at a different time. You know what I mean? There was a time he could have handled that without cameras and hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people all over the world watching. And sometimes when your other half is exercising the best judgment, that's when the other spouse comes in and we're like, "Hey, baby," we're like, "Pump your brakes, calm down. I know how you feel. Okay, like baby, I remember I was so hot one time with this lady, and I lost my crap. Okay, whole fruit out. Corey was like, cause he said he couldn't talk. He just grabbed my hand and just walked me out. Just walked me. He literally just grabbed my hand and just walked me out and got me outside. He's like, yeah, I know you mad. I know this is, cause he knew that I probably would have punched that woman in her face. He knew I was this close to just going smooth ham physical altercation on this person, and he seen it, and he came and he got me, and he took me right on up out of there. Okay, he had to save me from myself. So realistically, when y'all sit out here and y'all say that we're trying to make a woman responsible for a grown man, it's not that we're trying to make a woman responsible for a grown man, but we're giving observation and talking about the real life dynamics between couples. That's what we're talking about, and it did seem like she gave him the go ahead because she
was like she was behind the scenes stirring the pot,
right,
and then sat there and watched it unfold. And then in the People magazine, she was like, I felt like, I was at a fight at the Baltimore club. And it's like, what? You felt like what when you sitting at the Oscars? I don't know. It was a little extra. To me, it seems like, she had more ability to kind of calm things down, and she chose not to. She chose to sit there in that moment. Does that make it? Of course, he's going to always be responsible for himself in his own moves.
Mm-hmm.
But, if, that's your partner, then you do want to make sure that you're not just sitting back and allowing chaos to happen, because y'all got to pay for it together later anyway.
Exactly.
But if she's not with him, then she'll have to pay. He got to pay. He got to pay for it, and she going on about her business.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get the biblical aspect of this. People, in the church, they say, well, she got the Jezebel spirit, and they think, well, she's whorish or anything like that, which is also a part of it. But really, she embodies a spirit of manipulation. Mm-hmm. So she manipulated that situation to get that attention. So I think she has that Jezebel spirit where she wanted that chaos that night.
I'm not laughing at you, Integra. I'm laughing at Latera's comment. She said Will was kissing people on the red carpet for years in her face. I want both of them to leave us alone. I apologize. Sometimes y'all, I start snickering, and I'm listening to y'all, but I'm not snickering at what y'all are saying. I'm keeping my eyes on the comments too. And some of the comments are just really funny. So I apologize. I don't want to ever make anybody feel like I'm not, that I'm disrespecting them. Hey, Chris Stock, what's going on, my love?
Well, first of all, y'all so pretty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Black girl. I just wanted to say that Jada been playing in our face for years. First of all, because to me, even Pac himself said he was in love with her, but he was so real, he never made a relationship with her. We have to wonder why. He was close to a lot of women, and that was his best friend, and yet he chose not to be with her. Pac was not the type to not love on Black women, but yet he chose to not be in a relationship with his best friend who was a Black woman. To me, I feel like all of this, we know Will from the early 90s. We didn't hear no scandals with his name until he got with Jada. You got to look at the common denominator. Will was not, we're talking about summertime Will, jazz Will. He was never in any type of scandals. And then when he got with Jada, all of a sudden he's considered the toxic person. But look at the common denominator here. She played that role in Woo too well. I'm sorry, when you connect to that character the way that you do, it says a lot. But I feel like personally, she knew, she may not have told Will to slap him, but just like you said, host, you know your husband. And when you with a man for 20 plus years, you know how he gonna react. So ain't no way you gonna tell me that you didn't know that Will was gonna pop off, maybe not slap him, but you knew he was gonna do something to embarrass himself. This man been Oscar ready for years, and all of a sudden he's not invited. Like, your own child is asking to be what's the word? I don't know the word. When he was trying to get away from his parents.
Emancipated. He wanted to be emancipated.
Why is your own child asking for that? Will may have done his dirt, but Jada herself said she didn't even want to marry him. She cried on her wedding day.
Yeah, she said her mom, like everybody pretty much was like, this is a smart
Her.
decision, right?
Yeah,
And you can tell.
she was pregnant. So if you're not in love with a man and you're constantly putting another man in his face like Pac, and then you come around and say, oh, all of a sudden you go silent when your husband slaps somebody in front of a bunch of YT people, you just play dumb like you didn't know that was coming. Girl, come on. For real. You was pillow talking. You was pillow talking and you embarrassed your husband, and now he's out here trying to protect you and losing his whole reputation behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this good boy, he has a good boy reputation. And on top of that,
even with him being a rapper, he's never had a scandal.
Yeah, he was even a clean rapper.
Right. He
Yeah.
never said cuss words, any of that. And now all of a sudden he's banned from the Oscars. Come on now. Girl, you
and he was safe.
Right.
Y'all. For those, somebody in the comments just said, why is everyone beating up on, Jada, hating on Jada? No one's hating on her.
No.
Like, this is the thing. And, I'm gonna say this, but I don't want the conversation to veer off all the way over there. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay? The sisterhood, as far as Black women, we have a huge issue with holding other women accountable when they have the same hue as us. And sometimes we will let our sisters, not y'all, not y'all on the panel, but sometimes we will let our sisters be on bull crap. We will let our sisters hurt and harm other people. We will let our sisters commit all kinds of fraud, scandals, be as wrong as two left shoes. We will let our sisters root them on their way off of a cliff, but we don't want to say that this is not the most advantageous behavior or this is not the most becoming, because and if anybody speaks up against it, oh, they're a hater. They're against us. Like, no, we got to cut the crap. People telling the truth or people sharing their opinions based on observations. And please keep in mind, Jada is the one that keeps coming and putting the relationship out here in the public to us. None of us asked her for this. We all woke up this morning to her deciding that she wants to disclose that they've been separated for 7 years and that Chris Rock tried to holler at her and Will Smith, tried to beat up Tommy Davidson before, and all. None of us asked her for this information. None of us asked her for this. So at the end of the day, it's not hate. If you're going to put it out there, people are going to discuss it. It is what it is. And I don't understand what y'all don't understand about that. So anyway, side note, commercial break. If you guys want to get into my Black Friday boot camp, where I can show you how to catch a bag, especially if you've been out here trying to have Black Friday sales and they've been flopping, you need to get my boot camp. Click the link in my bio, tap the big green button. It is a 4-week boot camp. We start next Tuesday. It is live. I teach it. I'm not pushing you off to another instructor. You will be learning with me. We're going to cover everything from your packaging, your positioning, your products. I'm going to show you guys how to get new followers that will actually buy from you, how to have create integration with them, your follow-up funnels, your test sales, all of that, all those things you need to do to have a successful Black Friday. Okay. So click the link in my bio, tap the bright green button. All right. I only have 100 of those. Well, I don't have 100 anymore of the $27 spots, because normally you have to pay $297 to come into it. A lot of y'all was saying your checking and savings, your money was tied up. That's what y'all was telling me. I said, boom, let me help my people get some cash. So 100 of y'all can get in at the $27 price point. Before I got on, I went and checked. 50 of the seats were already gone. And I just announced it a couple hours ago. Okay. So if you want to get one of those seats, do what you need to do. And I would highly encourage you, get the Z, and I would highly encourage you to get the order bump that includes the replays. If you want to be elite, you will have 2 sessions with me a week. So everybody else gets 1, elite people get 2, because I need to actually be able to review your work, put my eyes on your pages, your funnels, your emails, be able to give you guys templates, all kinds of extra things in the study hall. Everybody will get a workbook. Everybody will have the homework. Okay. And if you're elite, you automatically get all of the replays. And I can only take on 25 elite students because I have to be able to review y'all stuff. And if I have more than that, I won't be able to review everybody's stuff. Okay. So do what you need to do.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
It's okay. How you doing this evening, Lane?
Hello, feminine millionaire.
How are you, gorgeous? Thank you for gracing my platform. This is the first time I think I've had you up here. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit.
Go for it.
Because I don't think there is one party that is less accountable in this situation. I feel like Will has kind of been victimized since the very beginning, in my opinion. And Jada has had that role of a villain. And so this was her attempt to kind of grab herself, like get herself out of a hole. And that's why she's releasing this information.
What do you consider the beginning?
I think that it started with just her having this whole red table talk thing, where a lot of people felt like she was revealing too much about her relationship, like you guys have mentioned. And then this whole August thing happened, and she felt like, oh my God, this is going to have. She tried to save face again, right? Knowing what we know now, 7 years ago, at that point where, Will Smith had the tears in his eyes, looking like the distressed husband. They were separated, and Will had already spoken in his book about being with somebody else. And it was kind of known that they were in an open relationship, right? But at that point, everyone saw Jada as this like predator. Everyone was calling her names because, first of all, August Alsina was a young boy, right? She was preying on him because he had health issues. He had some kind of drug abuse issues. Like there was a lot going on with him. Mm-hmm. And she kind of, maybe took advantage of that. And so she had this villain role in this story the whole time. And this book of hers, I feel like, is her trying to get herself out of that and giving us a little bit of perspective on what was going on. And if you listen to their interviews, honestly, they've been mentioning things to give us hints. They're really not together. They said before we'll get a divorce, we're gonna have two separate households, in the same compound. We just got to make it work. They've been kind of giving us an in on what's been going on. They've not been together for a very, very long time, but somehow we're still like victimizing Will. And I believe that Oscar's move was such like a ego driven move. It had nothing to do with Jada, because even you guys saying that, what's his name? Chris Rock had, kind of asked her out and stuff. If Will knew that information, and on top of that, he's feeling like, he's being disrespectful to his wife in front of people. It's not even about Jada at that point. It's a man-to-man issue. And he didn't want to deal with it behind closed doors because he felt disrespected in public. And so he wanted to show that he was still a man because, first of all, he's losing his marriage, he's losing his wife, and you're trying to disrespect him in front of everybody on his night. So I believe that he was trying to save his ego at that point.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit of ego, but no. I'm telling you this. Are you married, Lane?
I am.
Okay, so if you're sitting next to your husband and your husband is getting just really agitated, he's getting really angry, and y'all are in front of people and he's about to do something that will cause him complications later on. Is going to cause him complications with his finances, with his career, with his reputation. Even if somebody did disrespect, you wouldn't try and tell your husband like, "Hey, babe, like I know, we got to get him later though. You in front of people, it's cameras rolling, baby. I know, baby. I know. I just need you to calm down right now. Hey, let's go and take a walk out." And again, I'm not saying that this puts her that she's supposed to control a grown man, but it was very odd to me that she sat there and that she did not say anything, that she did not try to stop him, understanding what was at stake. And then this is the thing. In order for her to know that Chris Rock tried to holler at her, well, guess what? That's information that she delivered. Do you think I really come home every day and tell Corey all the men that have shot their shot at me? For what?
Okay, hear me out. This perspective you're giving is for you and I in a happy marriage. In their situation where they do not have a happy marriage, but they have some kind of true friendship.
I would say it's a business arrangement though.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? And so even looking out for the business, it wasn't a smart move.
I agree. And I don't think she looked as content as people feel like she did, right? She looked annoyed in the beginning. Will kind of took that action and then came back and sat down and said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, right? So it wasn't a lot of time for her to really grasp that, oh, this guy is going to go up there. But if you're not in a great, like, relationship with somebody, maybe you're in a business arrangement, you're not necessarily, maybe yes, their emotions, but if we're in some kind of if we're emotionally intact and connected, at that point I'm trying to save your emotions. I'm grabbing my husband's hand, right? I'm saying, baby's gonna be okay, I'm fine. But at that point it's like we're just here sitting together, we're just playing married, and I see you. I'm disappointed that this man who was trying to hit at me is now saying things disrespectfully. But I'm not anticipating that you're going to get up and go there. And when he came back, she didn't necessarily have any grandstands of approval towards him. It was just like, you went and did that, and just kind of like. And I can see why. I'm not saying any of them were right in that instance, or Chris was right either, but I'm not really seeing it as, oh, Jada's fault for being discontent with it was Jada's fault for what you call, or she's a Jezebel for showing emotion, and so Will's reaction to her emotion makes her puts her at fault.
Well, I didn't call her a Jezebel, but she definitely could have came up in the rear even after. Even after though, she didn't even say anything after it happened to defend him, to clear his name, to put things together. And this is what I understand what you're saying. But if we're moving off of, like you said, it's a friendship or it's just a business arrangement, well, then you still weren't protecting your friendship or your business arrangement, because realistically, he still protected her reputation all these years while they had that separation going on. What the agreement was, that they said, okay, we may be separated behind closed doors, but out public, we're going to be a united front and we're going to do X, Y, Z and element of P. That man still helped her get different roles and jobs. He still helped her get production assignments. He still helped her to be able to grow her business. He still helped her to be able to get other endorsements. He still showed up when he was supposed to show up to things. He still did photo shoots when he was supposed to do photo shoots. So even if it comes down to the romance, the lover part is gone out of it. But like you're saying, we're friends or we have a business arrangement. That wasn't even a good move though for the business side. And so that's it. So that's why I agree when Integra was talking about, we're watching some revenge that's happening. And I absolutely agree with that. She's mad. She's hurt behind the things that he's done in the past. And I absolutely, and this is just me and my opinion at this point. I feel that this woman is going to great lengths to exercise her vengeance on Will Smith. I do. I do. I think she is going in, and however she has to mentally, emotionally destruct him, if she can destroy his reputation, destroy his career, shut down opportunities for him. Because there are some people, they don't fight with their hands. There are some people that are very strategic. They are instigators. They're extremely manipulative. They know how to move the puzzle pieces around and make all kinds of things happen that need to happen. There used to be this show called Downton Abbey back in the day, and I love this show. And it wasn't ever a lot of like fights that were happening physically, but you would see how people would go and speak and plant seeds and talk to this person and move that, and all of a sudden destroy somebody's life. And so again, it's just my opinion because they put the relationship out here. Like they putting it out here. I didn't ask for none of this. None of us asked for any of this. We just all woke up this morning and here Jada Pinkett Smith is on People Magazine talking about they've been separated for 7 years and she on the Today Show and then she gonna be on CBS. Here she is everywhere. But literally, it seems to me that because of her, remember, she got married to this man. She didn't want to get married to Will Smith. She got married because everyone told her, and she knew logically it was a smart decision to get married to him. So this is not like the love of her life, right? So there's resentment there, okay? Then like the way that she wants to live her life, you know, as a free bird or whatever she calls it, whatever she calls herself, a free butterfly, whatever it is. And that's counter to the traditional image that he needs to portray for the career and for the sake of the legacy and everything that they're building. Then he did cheat on her, right? Now, I don't know, at one point they said we're going to have the open relationship, but we definitely know there was some cheatation happening. So there's a lot of points of resentment that she's probably built up over the years. And I'm not saying that it's right, but I also come from the stance of if you say that and this is for any man or woman in here, if you were with somebody and they cheat on you and you say, I'm going to forgive you and we're going to move forward and we're going to keep our relationship, you then don't get to turn around and exercise vengeance on the other person. If you can't get past it, leave. And what she's doing while she's trying to tear him down, it is backfired on her. And it's making her look crazy in these streets.
Can I just piggyback on host Lane? She's right. And Lane, I feel you in what you're saying, but we have to look at the facts here. You know, we are not considering the fact that Will did an interview saying he was jealous of her relationship with Tupac. I keep going back to that because as a married woman with a best friend that's a male, and everybody is hopping on your relationship with that best friend over your husband, there's something there. And for you to turn around and say, when I lost Pac at that red table talk, when she was sitting at that table, she said, when I lost Pac, and tears started coming down her eyes. Will is not a victim, but as a husband, can you imagine the torture of watching your wife on live, whatever social media saying, when I lost another man, how that could affect his ego, his security, his love for her. This didn't come out of anywhere. She's been doing this for years because you have your husband now saying, I was jealous of another
Chris
man.
The Willow was up here posting stuff about Tupac and in remembrance of him. And how your daughter know how you have this strong affection for this man that passed away before she was even born? Like, come on. Like,
hear me out. Hear me out. It might devil's advocate stand.
All I'm saying is you put another man on a pedestal over your husband, and you're crying on national TV saying, when I lost this man, and you're married to another man. That to me tells me that you've been pillow talking. You've been making your husband feel jealous of other men because you put yourself out there in a platform to say that my man is not secure because there's this other man that plays a part in my life, and my husband is saying, I wish that I was in his shoes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, James.
Something, please.
Yes, come on in. How you doing, James? Hold on, Lane. Let me let James in because Braylon left, so James is the only other testosterone we got up here. There were two, now there's only one. Go ahead, James.
So let's just be honest about one aspect. First of all, hello, ladies.
Hey, James.
Great evening. Hey, James. Let's be honest.
Wait, side note, ladies, James is single. James is a single man. Now he's a widower. He's a recent widower. So if you can cook meals, if you're sensitive, okay, if you'll be understanding, this is a great man. He's tall. He has a beautiful smile. He's a one woman type of guy. He knows he don't want to be out here in the streets. Okay, and he does well. He's a high earner. Okay, over the 6 figures. He's a high earner. All right now. All right.
Thank you. My aunties will thank you very much. Yeah? So I think the biggest thing that's interesting about this conversation is men have egos when it comes to their woman. that you love talk about another man more affectionately than you, it affects your relationship. And so one of the things that I think is very important is two things we need to say. One, Jada's career is Jada's career. It's not his. She's responsible for the success that she wants to have for herself. At the end of the day, as somebody who has family who work in that industry, it really on you. Your talent is talent. People don't go where they want to go with it. But Will Smith is a very talented person. I think the second thing that's important is you have to look at the person for what they're saying and what they consistently do. Will Smith is consistently like, I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna eat what happened to me at the Oscars. I did put hands on that man. But after that, all of the information that keeps coming out is coming from Jada. And then if you notice, a lot of the men who speak on Will Smith are weak men. Ain't nobody checking for Tommy Davidson like that. But Tommy Davidson, he ain't gonna do that to no 50 Cent, no Ja Rule, no, he gonna pick the right person he can talk crazy to because they gonna come see him. They're not even gonna do it on the internet. They gonna catch him in the back. They're gonna have that conversation. And what I'm finding is I hear so many people talk bad about Jada. As a man, I just hear a woman who is scorned. I don't know about the jealousy part, but I do hear a woman who is scorned. Because every time you bring up Jada's name, it's always negative. And then here's Will Smith, who's still a golden boy. And I hate to say this, ladies, do not kill me. Please don't kill me, what I'm about to say. Will Smith gonna be all right.
He is.
Be real. He gonna be just fine. If they break up today, they're gonna be 40 women standing right there waiting for this brother.
400,000 women gonna be over there standing waiting on him. And some of them will say, you don't have to just be with me. We'll share. We'll be sister wives. It's fine. We love you, Will. We love you.
Terrible.
With this hand on my face because I feel like I'm gonna be the judge or the one to partition what's going on here. Nobody's standing for my sister.
Here's the one thing nobody's talking about. Will Smith is born for how he loved her, and he's also a highly vulnerable man. Women could tell that a mile away. Will Smith ain't the regular street type, I'm thicker than skin kind of guy. He's a very sensitive dude. As somebody who ran the streets and then God saved his soul and all that, myself, I'm a sensitive dude. Like it's like saying James, me and Feminist Millionaire joked about me. They was like, you remember that lie when everybody's like, yeah, you should have a whole face. I was like, oh no, that's dirty. I'm not.
That's right. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't do stuff like that. But I know my personality. If I know I'm a very sensitive person and I'm married to somebody who's always wanting the spotlight, always has an attitude, and then I cheat on them because I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. Both of them are wrong when it comes to the relationship. I think where it gets crazy is the celebrity of it. She's writing whole books, doing whole memoirs. Like no matter what y'all say, y'all can defend that all day. That's bad on her part. Honestly, for her as a woman, she's already been labeled the villain. Why would you want to come out with a book exposing more of your marriage and then turn around and want somebody to have sympathy for you? It's just not going to happen.
But from a perspective, to judge fairly, hear it. You said it yourself, right? What's happening behind closed doors is pure chaos and turmoil. We can agree that this is just a reflection of what's happening out there. But just because Will is the stoic looking one doesn't mean that he's the right one. They're both wrong. It's a lot happening that we don't know. But Jada cannot.
But this is the thing. At least because Will is smart enough. If he's out there throwing stones and if he's digging ditches, he's doing it behind the scenes. At least he's smart enough to keep a face in the public to look friendly. Like that, I feel like that's like PR 101. You're supposed to be like a koala bear. You look cute and cuddly, but I will claw your eyes out and murder you. That's how that operates. And at least, like, this is the thing. At least he's smart enough to be able to maintain the image and move around whatever he needs to move around. So that's why I was saying it's literally like Jada is standing in a pile of doo-doo and she's picking up this doo-doo and she's flinging it on him, but she doesn't realize, well, now she has poop all over her shoes, poop is all over her pants, poop is all underneath her fingernails in the process of trying to sling the poop at him. And so the way that she's gone about it, like, has really, and I'll be honest, she doesn't come across as she's not very warm. Okay, she's not warm. So there are some women, there's just something about them that's very warm, it's very inviting, it makes them very likable. Okay. Now look, Jada is beautiful. Jada is a very talented actress. Okay. When Jada created that Red Table Talk, she revolutionized something. She took, the social media TV to a whole nother thing. She really got people's attention and got companies to start putting money behind creators, right? So we could produce our own shows and things of that nature, because she was really one of the first celebrities to do something like that, right? She's a smart businesswoman. She's been able to stay relevant with each generation by, right, utilizing the two technology. I can say a lot of amazing things about her, but she doesn't come across as warm, as inviting. She does not. And so that's another thing that works against her in this instance and makes it very easy for people to paint her as the villain, because you got to remember, people look at Will Smith almost like a puppy dog. And I know that sounds like harsh when I say that, but he's had a pretty much squeaky clean, pristine image his whole career. His whole career, even the whole time he was rapping, and it was clean rapping without, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I'm a clean rapper, I don't curse. And then he made all the kids movies and the family movies and the shows. Like, he's been able to maintain this super positive image for decades. So no one looks at him and they're not going to see him as a villain, and they're not going to see him as harmful, even though he could be serving up a platter of poison. Okay, he can be coming in with a platter of poison to kill all of us.
That is exactly my point. You're making my point seriously, because and I think that is what is causing Jada to want to come out and speak up, and that's why she's been trying to speak up all these years. And
do you think it's a benefit to her?
Huh?
Do you believe it's a benefit to her? Because here's the one thing I was told, because I'm moving more into the public space. Your private practice should never outweigh your public. Your private practice should never become a public performance. And she's letting her private life become a public performance. Do you think that this is going to benefit her lane in any way, in a positive way?
Unfortunately, at this point, there was no turning back for her, in my opinion. In the beginning, I don't think it was necessary. It wasn't necessary at all. But once the August thing happened, they were just trying to save face, right? But because we were missing so many context clues that we have now, but then we didn't know that they were formally separated, right? But we just knew that. I'm sorry, there's an echo. I don't know if it's me.
Everybody mute up. Let's see.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. No, I feel like we're missing so many context clues that we have now. But initially, it wasn't necessary for her to speak up on their relationship. Nobody needed to know. They were the perfect couple. I remember when Facebook came out, I had their couple picture as one of my profile pictures, because I was like, this is my favorite couple in Hollywood, right? They were so beautiful. They had the music videos where they were doing the old school dances and all that stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is like the best couple. They're discreet and they do their thing. I don't think it was necessary in the beginning. But once the August Alsina thing came out, I think that everything just went downhill, because it reveals this horrible image of what their marriage actually was. There were rumors about them being in an open relationship, but no one actually believed it. But once that came out, it was like, whoa, hold up. And then the image we saw was Will Smith, like, almost and Jada being super stoic and saying things the way she was saying. But imagine you're in a relationship with your husband and he decides, or you both decide, we're going to be separated. We're living on the same compound, right? And you as a married woman, you're not really getting approached that much, because guess what? They see you with the kids, they know you're Will Smith's wife. The women are going to flood towards him regardless, okay? So granted, you end up quote unquote preying on a young something, and this young something is revealing everything. So in order to save face, they tried this very failed method of going on the red table talk together. Again, Will Smith, the Oscar-winning actor, is crying at the table. Okay, and so now she's villainized, and so now her attempt to not look so much as a villain because she's spoken so much about her love for Tupac. She's spoken so much about all the the little fails they have in their relationship, and there's so many holes being poked into their marriage. She's trying to give us perspective, and I feel
Can I
like
ask a question? Can I ask one question? Can I ask one question? Why are you going so hard for somebody who's exposing themselves? I just want to know that because
I'm a devil's advocate. Okay, don't buy the messenger.
Let me jump in here for 5 seconds. Let me jump in here for 5 seconds. Because I at this moment, in this very moment, because I kind of been on Will's side up until this point, but at this very moment, I have to lend some sympathy, not empathy, but some sympathy to Jada, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why, girl.
Okay, I was in a relationship, and in this relationship, the gentleman had a nice, prestigious vocation. And I had been known to be authoritative. I have been in pockets in my life where I was not living in my true femininity. However, in the public, he treated me like a queen. He opened the door. He bought the food. I mean, he did everything. But behind closed doors, he was highly narcissistic, manipulative. He did not treat me well. Okay. And so when I finally got to the point of speaking out, it was, oh, I don't believe that. He's such a nice guy. He's so nice and he's like nice. But once I spoke to an ex or two, which I had conversations with a couple of exes, come to find out, he treated me the same way he treated them. And in the public eye, they all thought they had my same experience. No one believed them. No one believed that, oh, he was capable of doing such things. And so now that I'm thinking about it in this very moment, I'm like, wait, I've had that experience. One, she's trying to get her bag. Even if she got 10 million in the bank, she may be trying to get another 2 million in the bank. So she's getting her bag. And I think the word is lethargic. Lethargic is one of those words where when you actually tell the truth, it frees you.
Oh, cathartic. Yeah.
Cathartic. And so she may be going through a cathartic experience right now, just letting the world know, you know what, this brother ain't who you think he is, and this is what I've experienced, this is what I've gone through, and people think I'm the bad guy.
But I'm not saying you wrong about that. I'm not saying you or Lane are wrong about that. But this is what I'm not saying y'all wrong about that. I'm saying the way that she did this though, because y'all got to remember she is a smart woman. She was led by her emotions, and she was seeing red, and she was like, I'm going to get him because I'm telling you. Like, even look at the picture. Look at the pictures of her. Even in these, look in all of these pictures. Does she look? Hold on, I'm finna go picture through picture. I got 3 of them up here. Hold on. I want y'all to look at these pictures. Look at the pictures. Look at the body language. Look at the colors. Look at her. Look at her face in these pictures.
She hurt.
Does that look warm? Does that look cuddly? Does that look sweet? And y'all talking about he's an Oscar-winning actress. Actor. Don't forget she's a phenomenally talented actress as well. And she could have, and y'all were like, there's nothing she could have done. Nope, she could have turned all of this around. Okay, she should let people.
Now, I will say this: it was many years ago, and her and Will were hosting in I think it was the BET Awards. Will was all happy and bubbly and and she was just like this. And I said that had to be over 10 years ago. I said, "Ooh, why she why she act like that? Why she turn her face up like that?
But can we just add truth to this? That woman was like that before she married that man.
Okay. That part, that part, that's that part, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, James. I'm not talking about her being hurt because of Will. That's what I mean. Like, you have to be, so there has to be some bit of likability, and she could have came up there, and like you said, how Will Smith had tears in his eyes, I would have had tears in my eyes too, baby. He was crying 2 tears, I'm crying 20 tears. He crying 20, I'm crying 100. Okay, I would have sat up there, I would have been quiet. I would have came out with Will. I would have brought that out. I would say, yes, I was hurt in my marriage. My husband had affairs on me before, and I thought I could get past it, and it was still hurting and tearing me up. And so I did. I wanted revenge. And everybody knows I'm Will Smith's wife, and I can find another suitor. And so, yes, this boy was here, and he made me feel like a woman and gave me attention. My husband was out here on a boat with all these actresses, and everybody knew, and I was embarrassed, and I just needed some type of comfort. That's what she should have. That's what she would have did, and people would have been like, "Oh my God."
No, but what proof do we have that didn't happen? It was just cut out.
She did. She got full creative direction of the Red Table Talk. She has full production on there. She gets to say what hits the. She gets to say it, and at the end of the day, if I wouldn't have been able to put my part in there like that, well, baby, ain't nothing being said. I'm gonna go book my own press tour, and I'm finna go cry to Robin Roberts, and then I'm gonna go and cry to Gail, and then I'm finna go and cry to Jennifer Hudson. Then I'm going, whoever got to touch her, baby, I'm going everywhere. I'm on a whole crying tour. Baby, I'm finna be from Asia to Africa to Australia, back over here in North America. I might even go up to Antarctica and drop some frozen tears up there. So she could have turned it around, but the reason that she didn't is because that's not inside of her. That's like we're seeing who she is not, that's not inside of her. That's not inside of her.
And she told us on the Red Table Talk, she said there was too much, they have too much to lose. We're not in that marriage to figure, they have too much to lose. They both made that decision to not present to the public that they were separated or they were about to get divorced.
And I understand that she didn't have to say they were separated, but if you're gonna come out here and now talk about, oh, we've been separated for 7 years and we've been living as individual people, it's the same thing. And at the end of the day, she could have turned it around, but she didn't turn it around because she is not a light. She's not a light person. Okay.
Have you not seen? Listen. One thing y'all gotta pay attention to is how social media is responding right now. No matter what y'all say, Will looking good. He back home chilling. He gonna come out and he gonna keep saying no comment. And they gonna be like, she gonna keep talking. She's doing like 4 interviews. Will Smith gonna go shoot another movie, and he gonna try to work his way back to the Oscars. And here's the thing that I think is most disheartening. Out of the whole family, Will Smith is the most quiet out of everybody. And the thing that's making it tough for Jada is you already have a reputation before him as somebody who was an angry bird.
Yep.
And now you want to come out talking bad about your husband, where he is, and Will Smith, and I'm telling you what he's going to do, because they tell you this in all industries. And Feminist Millionaire, Ashley know what I'm talking about. If somebody asks you who fault it is, all you got to say it's your fault. Take the high road, be apologetic. Make sure you keep saying that. And what everybody gonna do? Everybody like, I still hate him, but at least he said he's sorry.
Yep, at least he took accountability. He working on himself. Right. Then he turned around putting up posts of him meditating and at retreats, and I'm working on myself and I'm getting my fitness back together. And here's my green juice, and I lost myself and I'd have found myself again. Like, please, like there was still an opportunity for her to shift the dynamics and shift the public's favor over to her. But the reason it did not happen because that ain't in sis. She don't. I feel like she's comfortable in her villain role. I don't think it bothers her that people see her as a villain. I think she's happy to be the villain. If I'm keeping it a buck, I think because there are some people on the planet Earth, when you hurt them or if they become scorned, they're like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what anybody else sees. But I'm gonna get you. I'm on your top. I'm on your neck. I'm riding down on you like a banshee on a broomstick. The only even hell can't keep me off you. Do you understand? There are some people that is how they are, and that is what they're doing.
And actually, can we just add one thing? The only people who gonna have this conversation is women, because all the men is already on Will's side.
Yeah,
most men don't like Jada Pinkett Smith at all.
You got a handful of them that will take up for Jada. But you're right. I would say like 95. I would say like 95% of men though, they're absolutely on Will Smith's side.
We were talking about it this morning. We came a bunch of grown men at a they out of school this week, picking boys up from the football patch. About 20 other dudes just standing outside. They said, "Man, you heard that heifer?" They're like, "Man, she's terrible." I hope Will starts smashing all the females. They didn't even care about her side. Nobody cared. And you know why men took it? Because most men egos are big. When she did that thing about Tupac, it was over with us. You sitting up here crying about another man.
James, let me tell you this. Let Corey come home and be crying about some woman that he not related to.
That's dead. I mean, underlined. Excuse me. That's crazy.
What are you talking about? Babe, we got a whole problem because I'm trying to figure it out.
Did anyone ever play with this idea that Will Smith's team has paid Jada to keep hush hush on things that could make her not look like the villain?
Yo, you got to stop reaching. You grabbing the straw, man. You reaching.
That's a new conspiracy theory has entered the chat. A new conspiracy theory. A new conspiracy theory said, "Wait a minute, she deserves a sound effect for that. That was amazing."
Anybody think about it? I'm not. Listen, Jada, honestly, I feel like has not decided to play the victim, and she's still not playing the victim. She's only spoken facts. People are bashing her for the facts she's spoken. Let's think about that. The only one who has emotional about this whole process is Will.
What facts has she spoken?
There is a picture right now, Lane, of Will Smith standing behind her smiling when she's opening the package of her new book. Because he has common sense. He knows you're making me look good. Go on, keep talking crazy. All he's gonna do is skydive. He's gonna go and do another movie. He's gonna stay in the background because listen, nobody you might not be a Bible person, but the Bible says a fool is made wise in his silence. The more he quiet and the more she talking, the better he looks. He was standing behind her with his hand on her shoulder like, he knows he's to get the dub. No matter how many ways you want to take it, he gonna win, man. But you can stand beside it though. You can stand beside it, but you reach it. You all in.
So hear me out. When I came in, I said I'm not standing by none of them. They both wrong. Okay, I was just playing devil's advocate. But listen, I really don't think Jada is the villain in this story. I really think Will is really good at throwing a stone and hiding his hand. But yeah, I rest my case. I don't think
you're one of the. I mean, you can't be They both did their part. The thing is that she's loud and she's the one who put the information out there. So she doesn't want to be categorized as a villain, and she needs to really think about what she's saying and how she's coming across. Because that's all her. He's just chilling in the background, letting her do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He chilling.
It is.
That Bad Boy 5 come out, he gonna be looking good at that joint. Ass gonna be poking.
Look while he's out. Look while he's out here posting on his page, talking about he gone out on he on a date with a robot. He is over here still doing lighthearted stuff. Okay, she is serious and heavy. He's like, look at me, I'm fun. It's a good time. So then that's what I was like, and this is she's smart. So I know she knows. You know what I'm saying? I know she knows. She could do really simple stuff. She could start wearing brighter colors. She could wear stuff that was a little bit more flowy. I'm for real. Like things like that change the things like that change the way that people see you. They do. She could, you know what I'm saying? She could put a little pink on her cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Make it a habit to be seen out here smiling. She needs to go. She needs to go. No, she's making herself miserable. She's making herself miserable because this is the thing. If you decide to stay someone, and I baby, I will die. I will stand 10 toes down on this mountain. Okay, y'all ain't gonna never be able to get me off of it. If anybody, because you got to know now, because I know, and Corey knows, cheating is a hard no for me. You want me to leave you alone? Cheat on me. I'm out of here. Okay, I'm gone. But I'm not, but at the same time, I'm not judging people that can make it past infidelity. Because I do know some couples, they have worked past infidelity and their marriage has come back stronger. Everybody just has a different temperament. Okay. But if you're going to stay with someone, okay, after they cheat, you got to be big enough to forgive them. And when we're forgiving people, that means you've restored them back to the position they were in before the transgression happened. So that means you can't be out here being miserable. You can't be angry. You can't be throwing it back up in their face. You can't be doing all of that. Once you say, I forgive you, we moving forward, we working together. This is what it is. That is what it is. So once she decided that she was going to continue on in that marriage, that's what that was. And if she got to a point where she realized I can't do it, she should have left. So she's literally angry at him, and I get it, and she's hurt by him. However, she's driving herself mad. She's driving herself into anger. He's not doing anything to her.
Listen, the woman started the word entanglement. I mean, there's nothing you can do for her right now, Lane. You know what you could do? You could pray for a couple of Hail Marys, maybe get a margarita or stuff. But other than that, she's out back.
One margarita, I'm going to open my legs. Two margarita.
Listen, Will knows what he's doing. He's got you guys persuaded. But listen, he knows what he's doing. Because I'm sure there was no prenup.
I'm not saying that Will is totally innocent.
I know I'm not saying that he's innocent, but he's handling it way better. Way better than she is.
This is all a chess match, and he's played his part. It's just that she's not responding to his chess moves.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna say one name to y'all, okay? And I want you to think about how this person's career never rebounded in the Black community because she didn't operate correctly. Alicia Keys.
Come on, man. You say it again, Ashley. Say it again. I'm trying to tell you.
So totally different scenarios.
I'm not talking about it's a different scenario, but I'm talking about the way that you let the public portray you and how you move in the depiction when you are a high profile person like that. That all of that matters. Even when you're doing business and you're not a high profile person, I am aware that there are certain people that need to like me. And because they like me, my business will always do well. Because these people like me. They will always speak my names in rooms that I'm not in. I will always be able to get access to other connections, networks, jobs, all kinds of stuff. That is a part of business, and that's a part of being a public figure. And you have to, and this is the thing, Jada Pinkett Smith, the majority of her audience isn't Asian women. It's not Indian women. It's not Caucasian women. The majority of her audience is Black men and Black women. So rather, even though it's not a fun fact, you need your audience of people to like you. They need to want to fool with you because that's what's going to help her in her business. And so at the end of the day, only thing we're saying is the way that she's going on about it is ridiculous because people that if you just go look online and just go through the comments, the general consensus is people are like, she needs to be quiet. all of us are like, why are you talking, sis? Like, what are you doing right now? She's doing more damage to herself than she is to him.
And if you read Will Smith's book,
one more time.
Will Smith's book was so strategic, right, Lane? This is what's so crazy about Will Smith. And I'm not really taking a side. I'm talking about just the marketing and branding of it all. Will Smith's book was all about his failures, all his mistakes, all his mental health issues, all his recovery. He ain't going online and talk about nobody else. He was breaking down, crying, talking about himself. Anytime it gets to somebody messing up, Will be hitting you with, he carried tissue. He be like, people go for it every time.
You're right.
And your girl out there, she was on an interview today like this, like, yeah, you've been separated for 7 years.
He did this. Again, is more of the imagery. He took that standpoint, like, yeah, I'm putting my business out, but I'm taking accountability. I'm taking responsibility for it. She hasn't come out and did that. Even when she talked about her entanglement with August Alsina, you know, I think, you know, I'm addicted to healing people. And so, you know, that's why I did this and that. Baby, you was addicted to that peen, to the eggplant. That's what you was addicted to. Okay, that's what you was addicted to. You was addicted to that long stroke, girl. Tell the truth. Okay, tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay, that's why I said she should have came out and cried. You know, I lost my way. I was just so hurt behind the infidelity from my husband, and I know it's not right, but baby, she should have came, baby. She should have came and cried and rolled around on the floor and everything, and then she should have left and went on a spiritual retreat and took a sabbatical and started posting Bible verses and lighting incense and stuff, and came back out dressed like an earth mother for like 3 months.
No, let me give you some of the images of mental of people who are actual victims. They don't want to stay down. They don't want to stay down.
Man, look at you reaching again. No, hold on, go keep talking.
Did I say I was going to read one more time? I did say that.
her arms are 10 feet long.
The reality is the victim is those children. If she was really concerned,
That's true, Dr.
Kia. Concerned about what impact her behavior, her book, her information, her spreading family gossip all over the internet is going to have on her children. But that's not her concern. Even if, let's say that she's so hurt that she's out here saying all these things about Will, with, you know, hopefully to hurt him, she still don't care nothing about the impact that it has on the kids.
So look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give. Wait. I need everybody to have final words because I actually have to go to a meeting with my tax compliance specialist. And if y'all want to reconvene, we definitely can reconvene tomorrow evening because you know some more stuff is gonna come out by the time we get back on here. And we need to talk about Papoose and Remy. And you know, I probably need to do a set. Yes, baby, we got stuff that we need to discuss. Okay. And I need to talk to y'all about what you need to be doing with your money because you know we on the verge of 2 war fronts at one time. We over there with the Ukis. Okay, now Israel and Palestine out here, baby, going to blows. So you know what I'm saying? We got, you know, I gotta keep, y'all gonna kind of keep seeing me almost 2 a days because I can't talk about the business stuff and then turn around and mix this other stuff. So business one time, then we'll come back and we'll have the community discussions. But I want to give everybody opportunity for last words before I go over here and get my situation right. Okay.
Well, let me get out of here first. I'm you know, let man be first.
No, James, you last. Ladies first. Integra is first. Go ahead, Integra.
Thank you, Ashley, for having me on tonight.
Thank you for coming on. Please come back anytime. I've enjoyed you so much.
Thank you. It has been extreme joy. But what I want to say, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and please understand that narcissists are made. They're not born. And right now, we're in a narcissistic society, and people who can't accept responsibility for the part that they play in these things, that right there is red flags. And we need to protect ourselves, protect our heart, protect our resources. And that's all. James, I sent you I inboxed you and said hello, so you can keep me. And I followed Dr. Kia and I followed you, Lane.
Thank you, Integra. Thank you, gorgeous. She's so pretty. Thank you, Integra. Lane, come on, girl, give it to me. And Lane, I want you to come back anytime. I love it. I like y'all know I enjoy counter perspectives. Y'all know Deshaun is one of my favorite people on this app, and me and Deshaun, we like here on like almost everything, but we enjoy each other so much. So I love it, Lane. Please, 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 you come back any time. I enjoy it, and I enjoy the way that you logically roll everything out too. It's amazing. I love it.
Thank you. This is so fun. I just have to read one comment because it has me cracking up. Chris said she could have peed on her something, but
Dang, we gotta go that far.
Oh my God!
No, that would have been true reflection because I feel like she's out here suffering, But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Feminine, for having me on the panel. Let's have some empathy for our sisters out here who are suffering in these marriages and these men who are saving face. Okay. All right. I love you.
So Dr. Kia, that means we need to have some type of workshop where we show women how to save face. We were like, look, this is how you do it. James, you better get the brotherhood together. I'm finna get these girls trained up right. Oh my gosh. I'm just joking. Hey, y'all, now I do have an idea. Okay. And if one of y'all steal it, well, y'all probably not gonna steal it because even if y'all steal it, I'll still be able to come back and do it better than you did anyway. Okay. So I want to try this in 2024. And Dr. Kia runs a rigorous schedule as well. But I think this will be so much fun for our single people, right? Because we know a lot of us know a lot of good single men and a lot of good single women, but they're all afraid of each other, which I get it because it's terrifying out here. So I'm thinking we should have these game nights, right? And then at the game night, like there's going to be a higher price point because we don't want any raggedy ragamuffins coming in. We want serious people. So it will be somewhere in between like $500 to $1,000 to come to this game night. We may turn into like a whole little weekend thing. Okay. But we're going to weed out the people, but it's going to include a background check. So, ain't nobody a sicko. They don't do weird things to children and animals. They ain't got no DV charges or nothing like that. We'll take care of all the background check. We know everybody's employed that's coming, right? And we get maybe like 25 women and 25 men. And then we'll have, a couple married people and therapists and stuff in there too to kind of help, facilitate stuff. But we have games and we have a bunch of fun stuff. And these people get to be in the right place and you see who naturally gravitates towards one another, get the little numbers and continue the conversations. Wouldn't that be fun? And a good way to help people meet each other. Oh yeah, no, the credit check will be there too. The credit check will be there too, for sure. But we just want to make sure so you coming into a safe environment. You know what I'm saying? We ain't nobody got no DVs, ain't nobody out here, super crazy or nothing like that. It's like, hey, you dealing with decent people, they're employed people, right? They are who they say they are. Ain't nobody got no secret families or nothing like that. We'll have all of that come out so you know what you got. I think that would be so much fun and it'd be no pressure on people because they just can come and hang out and play like the games. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. You said it sounds great. We gonna work on it. I think that would be so much fun, and we could do like a tour, like we could go in different spots across the country with the game night. I think that would be so much fun.
We gonna
yes, because then the people in a place to meet each other and know that it's not like bogus people. So I think that is really a good idea.
Yeah.
Dr. Kidd, can you make sure Miss Ashley don't just have all her fine millionaire women friends and it'd be like 3 guys?
No, it's gonna be even. It'll be like 25 men, 25 women.
I feel naked out there. I just want to make sure it's more, camaraderie, I just don't want to be.
It is. It's gonna be even match, and then y'all can get in there and be comfortable because all the initial stuff you have to be afraid about with other people that's already gone. So now y'all can just hang out and see who you naturally vibe with and connect with.
Crystal could start in Dallas, Texas, please.
I think that'll be so much fun. Okay, Dr. Kidd, give me your last words, gorgeous.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I just want to say I think that everybody is always going to be responsible for their own behavior at the end of the day. So both of them are accountable and responsible for their own life. But I also think that you can't sleep on the fact that being out here sharing your business in the street is going to create chaos. Like so, and that's what they're going to be experiencing, chaos for them and the kids in the meanwhile. So yeah.
And you said careful, somebody is steal my idea. Baby, I'm the mother out here in these streets. They can't move until I move. And even if they did it, I will come back and outdo them. They would execute it. It'll be raggedy. It won't they won't be able to pull it together the way I can. Not at all. Not close to it. So that's why I said I ain't worried about it. They'll be like, well, how am I gonna do the logistics? How are we gonna do that? They not me. Okay, they not me. My brother James, what are your final words for tonight?
I would say to every man, make sure your private practice outweighs your public performance. That the woman that you love, that you spend quality time with. I was telling my son the thing that I'm gonna probably do when I get married again, because I believe in God to bless me with a beautiful wife. Is that I'm gonna spend the first 30 minutes just speaking life into her. We're not gonna do the honey-do list. We're not gonna run around. We just gonna kiss, hold each other, and if it leads to what it leads to, bless God for it. I believe in laying on the hands. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
But I think a lot of men need to realize that no matter how much money you make, without the character, the marriage won't be sustained. And that's what Will and Jada is actually showing us when it comes to relationships.
Yes.
And then the last thing I would say is, ladies, at the end of the day, when a man is a good man, please don't make him out to have to be a thug or have to be aggressive or have to be something that he's not. Just because somebody's 6 foot, 260 like myself, I'm a velvet teddy bear. I don't want to be arguing and fighting and all that kind of stuff. I want to make love, make quality time, and then make some good, go to some great events and hang out. A lot of these young men out here that I mentor, I'm going to say to y'all missing the boat. There's a lot of good women out here. You're too busy listening to the red pill community. Most of them jokers ain't even got a friend, let alone a wife. So don't listen to them at all. That's what I
all the red pill ain't bad. Some of them, so it depends. Now I'm not gonna lie, some of the red pillers are extreme, but it's some of the red pill bros. They got some. I don't agree with nobody 100% of the time, and I don't disagree with anybody 100% of the time. So I like, if somebody is valid, I'm like, oh, that's valid. I can see that. If I think something is a little strange, I'm like, no, wait a minute, you're doing too much. Because if I'm being honest, when it breaks down to my ideology, if somebody put me in a percentage, I would probably be like 65 to 75% red pill on the tradition, as far as like getting married and having a family and stuff like that. I very much align with that. I'm not down for women having friendly panties. I want women to take care of themselves, but I very much believe in like a traditional model as far as how a household runs. For sure.
Ask for tradition when your checks say modern.
Oh well, no. Look, I definitely have told these men that they shouldn't be out here asking women to meet qualifications that they can't qualify for. I absolutely no. I agree with that 100%. But some of the yeah, and as my daddy said, he said, if your wife is going to work, she's automatically a non-traditional woman, because they like to argue that Black women have always worked. And I'm like, no, my grandma worked inside of the home too. My mom is a kept woman. My mom don't punch no clock. Okay. My mom she's punching me in Tracy's clocks. Okay. Just driving us up the wall. That's what she's doing. and we love her, we happy to have her. But the reality of the situation is times have changed, inflation has changed. The majority of Black men in America the majority of men, not just Black men, the majority of men in America aren't making a high 6 figures. And even if you make 100 or 150, by the time the government gets done with taxes and carrying on, you got your regular living expenses, it's still not that much money. So the majority of families are going to be dual working families. Even if that woman works from home part-time, even if she goes out and she works outside of the home, which means that you guys probably are also going to share in some of the household work. And that's the thing that's weird. They paint it like everything is one way. And all of the guys I know, even though they work, they still help their wives with the household work. Corey helps me do stuff sometimes. Like, he's a grill master, so sometimes he's out there grilling. I cook some sides, and that's that. We get it done. He's not over here saying, I'm not gonna grill because you're the wife and it's your duty to cook every night. No, he sees it sometimes when I'm slammed, when I'm overworked. He knows when we're getting into holiday seasons and big promotions, I am locked in, and he lets me do my thing. The same way I know when it's ramping up into spring season for him and he's going into his busy season, he is locked in, and I'm here to support him. Like, we work with each other. But like, as far as ideology though, as far as like family and, you know, believing that people should have a 2-parent household if it's at all possible and stuff like that, I definitely am on that side of the aisle for sure. Yeah. And I think it's weird to me when women are like, oh, I'm not gonna change for a man, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. Well, stay single, because it's not about changing for a man, it's about what's best for your family. And the fact that you can't seem to think beyond yourself into what's the best for your family, you may not need to be a part of a couple and in a family.
I agree. Just find me somebody that like your Nigerian name.
I got you. I got you, James. I got you. I got you. But see, I like some of the pink pill stuff. I like some of the purple pill stuff too. So that's what.
Nigerian?
Yes.
Are you in Texas?
No. Unfortunately, I live in Atlanta.
He in the ATL.
I might have somebody for you. I followed you. I might have somebody.
Ooh.
But my condolences. Thank you, Feminine Millionaire.
Thank you, Lane. Thank you, James. Thank you, Integra. Thank you, Dr. Kia. Thank you, everybody in the comments. Y'all are fantastic as always. I'll be back on sometime tomorrow. I can't tell you what time. Okay. It'll be after 7 p.m. when we come back to talk about more of this stuff. Okay. I can't tell y'all that. I'm going to work really hard to get on sometime between 7:30 and 8:30 tomorrow night. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for everyone that sent me gifts. Oh man, I forgot to ask y'all to like my stream. We should have had about 75, 85,000 likes. Okay, so I'm gonna do a better job asking to like and modding. I wasn't even paying attention to the likes. I just looked at them. Y'all give me the 10,000 real quick before we get out of here, so I don't get my content inflated. We had all the people in here, and I didn't even ask y'all to like. That's my fault. I'm not paying attention. Y'all just tap real fast. Tap real fast. Give me to 10 stacks real quick. You trying to figure out how to drop Integra? I got you, boo. Boop. Y'all tappity tap for me real quick. I'm at 9.1. I'm at 9.4. Thank you guys. I'm sorry. I forgot. Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. If it's evening time, get yourself a good night's rest. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget to join the Black Friday BootCamp. If you need help getting ready for Black Friday, click the link in my bio, green button at the top of the screen. Bye, you guys.